How's it, guys? Not fishing related, but I thought I'd record this while I was busy. As you guys can see, I'm busy with a van, with a Colt. I'm busy changing the upper, lower ball joints and the inner and outer tie rod ends. So I did the right side. Remember that squeak that I had? While I was driving, I finally figured out that it was the ball joints. Well, figured out plus the information that a lot of people gave me on the forums, and I mean there was guys that commented in one of my videos also that it could have been one of the ball joints. I initially thought it was the bushes, the rubber bushing in the upper and lower control arms, but yeah, it wasn't. So I did the right side last night, and the sound is gone. So obviously now I need to do the right side. I got the one tie rod end out so far. This is what I want to show you, how much play is in this thing. Check here. So this is the tie rod in. This is all got to do with your handling and stability of the bakkie. This you're not supposed to move with your finger like this. Check here, both sides. Look at this one's even worse. It feels like a freaking joystick. So this is the new ones, and obviously I can't move this. I'm not even lying. Like, I will have to. You can see how much force I'm putting on it, and I can't move it. So this is how it should be, and this is the inner. So yeah, this is how it should be, and this is how it is currently. So yeah, with 4x4ing, it's important that these suspension parts are replaced and maintained. Otherwise, you don't want issues when you're on the sand. So I'll keep you guys posted and updated of how far I get with doing this. Tie rod end is out. I need to replace upper ball joint, and I need to replace the lower ball joint, which is here at the bottom. So I'm gonna get cracking. So there you guys can see I assembled a new tie rod end. When doing this, it's important that you either count the turns when you loosen it from the old one, or count the threads. So when you put it back, it needs to be the same length as it was. So the threads on here and on the old ones are more or less the same. So if you count what the thread was, when I say the thread, I'm referring to the thread between the space here and this nut over here. So if you count the threads, there was like 8 threads on the old one. So I just put it back to that spec, and when I take the bakkie for alignment, they will most likely adjust this again when the wheel is straight. But yeah, when doing this, just make sure that your wheels are straight so that it goes back the same way. So yeah, that's done. Now onto the ball joints. Okay, so basically we now need to remove the top ball joint. I've already taken out that cotter pin, and then the bottom ball joint, the nut is already off. I just need to take that nut off. The one thing I've learned from doing this is that when you're working with the hub and this part of the suspension, it's just a lot easier to remove the caliper. So you remove the caliper and you don't put so much when you work, because now the thing is, for me to get out the bottom ball joint, I need to take the drive shaft out of this. So I need to open here, take this nuts off over here. There's a circlip inside. Once the circlip comes off, I'm able to pull this whole thing forward, and it will come out of the drive shaft. Then it gives me enough room to wiggle this. You see the lower ball joint is sitting in here, and it's bolted to over there. So I was really struggling on the other side, but the other side was really like a learning curve because I've never done this before, and this is the first time I'm doing it. So someone told me, remove the brake caliper, then there's less weight on here and there's less tension on your brake lines, so that you can work a lot freely. I think these are the lines for the 4x4 engagement. You also want to be careful when you remove this that you don't put any tension on these lines, because yeah, without these lines, or if you were to rupture them, then there's no 4x4. That I can guarantee you. So yeah, let's get cracking. I'm going to now remove that bolt and then try and knock out the ball joints and then put the new ones in. So yeah guys, still at it. Top joint is loose. Like I said, it's easier to remove the drive shaft from here to get this bottom ball joint out, because this whole thing fits in. You can see there, it's like slots in there like that. These two maneuvers, it slots in over there, so it's a lot easier just to remove the whole shaft from here. The ball joint is not playing games, this one especially, so I'm gonna try and knock this out. You can already see I've been knocking, and it's just awkward to knock from up, like obviously because this was on and me knocking from up, I wasn't getting anywhere. So now I'm gonna try and knock this way. I need to get the 4-pound hammer. This hammer's not doing justice. But yes, we are this far. As soon as I can get this out, I can get the new one in, new top joint, put the tire rim back, and then put everything back together. So there you can see the bottom ball joint is out. Like I said, the minute I knocked it from here this way, it came out a lot easier than for me having to knock it upward. So it came out. As you can see, this is the bottom ball joint, a shot to shit. If you can do this with your fingers, then you must know. Remember, when the car's weight and force, driving force on here, it's 10 times or 100 times more than the strength of my fingers. So I mean, if I can do this with my fingers, then I mean, what force is the bakkie not putting on here? And this is the new one, and once again, I can't move it. I hurt my finger earlier and my fingers are really sore, but yeah, I can't move it. I'm not even gonna try and force it because it's quite difficult. But yeah, that's the bottom ball joint, and I'm gonna put it back in now. So this is how the joint goes in. Just move it. There's a little nut that sits on the side here. This is a stopper nut, and it controls the wheel angle of your turning angle. So it kind of stops the steering angle from turning too far, because there's something on. There we go. This little nipple over here knocks against this bolt. But once this is fitted, let me see if I can push it in. So yeah, bottom ball joint goes in like this. Line the holes up, fit the bolts. Once the bolts go in, this bolt over here goes in over there, which creates a bit of a stopper for, you can see there's some wear on this little nipple over here. You can see there's some wear there. That rubs up or knocks up against here, which controls your turning angle. So if this is not in, when you lock your steering, your tires might end up rubbing against your inner suspension. So yeah, let me fit this thing quickly and then get this all back. Right, new ball joint is in. You can see there, no movement, no play. Another thing I forgot to mention is this jack. The purpose of this jack being, as you can see, the backie's on a stand currently. So this jack is controlling the height of this lower control arm. Obviously, this is under tension because of the spring and the shock. So without this, you won't be able to lower and higher this as you want. Now I'm gonna move the jack back under here. There's a point where I'm using to jack it up on, and then I'll jack this up to a point where I can fit the bottom ball joint in here and then the top ball joint in on top again. But yeah, I forgot to mention the purpose of this jack is to control the height of this, because like I said, without this you won't be able to pull this up close enough to work and for the yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, this is a must. You need a jack like this. Not specifically like this, but you need a jack under this lower control arm. Quick update. This is the top ball joint. This bolts don't belong here. These are the bolts for the top ball joint. The reason for this is I'm using this as a pressing mechanism to get this in here. On the other ball joint, I almost damaged the rubbers, which you don't really want to damage when working with this because this holds grease. And once the rubbers are damaged, grease leaks and then the ball joint ends up going. So I'm using this as a press. I'm just going to tighten the nut on there, and then it will essentially press this down into this fitting. So yeah, let me do that and then I'll show you once it's done. Righto, top ball joint in. A lot less play than the old one. Bottom ball joint in. Yeah, no play. So now let's get that on here and get that back in there, and I can tighten everything up. So now guys, remember this hub was over here. I jacked the bottom of the lower control arm up, put in the drive shaft, and then put in the bottom ball joint. The top one has a bit of play, so you can lift, because there's no real tension on here. You can lift this with your hand. So what happened was, once I put the bottom one in, once I put that one in, this just needed to be lifted a bit so that this little bolt can go in there. Once it's in, you can just lift it slightly so you can get the nut on, and then once the nut is on, you just need to fasten it up. So I'm going to start with the bottom first. You see this, see if I can get in here, this gap. Oh, it's so difficult recording and doing this. So this gap, you see that gap must close. Once that gap closes, it means that the ball joint is going to slot into this. Once it slots in, then obviously you guys saw previously I had to hammer it out. So once it slots in, it's kind of fuss. But yeah, once that's tight and that is tight, then I can put the brake. You know what I should have done? I should have gotten new pads, but I mean, yeah, that's another cost. So because now the caliper's off, the one pad fell out earlier. I mean, but yeah, I just need to put it back. So I could have changed the pads, but I'll do that another time when I can afford to. I need to put there's a circle that goes on over here, but this needs to just be pushed in more. The drive shaft needs to come more forward, and then this comes out, and then there's a circle that goes on here. It's so difficult doing this and trying to record at the same time, but yeah, we are almost about done. So I'm trying to make this illustration or video as detailed as possible because I've been searching across YouTube and I couldn't find a video demonstrating how to do this job. And the reason I chose to do it myself is because obviously to save money. With the whole fuel price going up and cost of living is really expensive. I mean, if you have the tools to do the stuff, maybe you just need to ask a couple of guys and then people can guide you, and that's what I did. So there's a lot of guys that I spoke to before, and I watched a couple of videos on YouTube with them doing a Mitsubishi Triton. It's kind of the same process, but yeah, the parts are very different and the components are slightly different. But yeah, the reason why I'm saying this is because I want to make this as detailed as possible so that you don't miss out any steps, because when I did the other side, it was more of like a learning curve, and it took me a bit longer than how it's taking me to do this one. So when doing this, also just remember to loosen these lines, because like I said earlier, when this whole thing drops, it puts a lot of tension on these lines. Remove your brake caliper. You can see I suspended the caliper there, so there's no tension on the brake lines, because if this is to pull out or tear or rupture or something, you're going to sit with a big problem. Then you're going to have a 4x4 issue, you're going to have a brake issue and you're going to end up needing to bleed the brakes. So yeah, top ball joint is in, fastened, tightened. Just also make sure that when you get the ball joints, or when you buy the ball joints, that they give you lock nuts. You can see there's like this blue plastic thread on the inside. With vibrations when driving, if it's not a lock nut, this will undo. So yeah, just make sure that the nuts are all lock nuts, or they are nuts with those pins that go through the top of the bolt. I think it's called a cotter pin. But yeah, I'm gonna put this back, and then I'm gonna put the caliper back, and then the last update will be with everything done. Then I need to go do alignment. Just remember to put your circle back on your drive shaft. There's a clip, there's a groove if you push the drive shaft forward from that side. So if you push on here, push this forward, it comes through here. If you push it forward, there's like a little ridge in there. I don't know if I can zoom in and focus the camera. There, you see there's a ridge where the circle sits in. So just make sure that you put this clip back, because if not, and you forget to put it back, this is going to pull out. The drive shaft will pull out of the hub when you're driving, and obviously when you take a turn, it might come out and you will end up with a lot of problems. So yeah, just make sure that you put that circle back, and you can't pull, when trying to pull the drive shaft out, it doesn't move. So yeah, and it must seat. So the clip must seat in that ridge. If it doesn't seat, try and do it again. But yeah, it has to be 100% right. Tie it in, other side in. Also a lock nut, very important. Yeah guys, we are on the final step. We just busy putting back the tire. Yo, I'm sweating. And Lonzo asked me if he can help me. Come, let's go. Okay, alright, go again. Nah, go in that one again. Alright, now do the opposite one. Opposite. Here's the opposite. If this is here, the opposite one is there. So do that one. Sisa again. This one here on top.
I was about to do that one there on top.
Keep the gun straight. Yeah. Again. Alright. Okay, now we need to put the car down and then just tighten the wheels manually. Take him out. Yeah guys, we're almost done. So if anything, I can feel that the bakkie drives a lot more firm. The drive is a bit more firm, more solid. And you can feel that the suspension has been done, like the tire rod ends and ball joints. Like it doesn't feel as soft, not soft, but like there's more of a firm feeling. I can't really explain it. Like I know what I'm feeling, because obviously I had previously drove the bakkie, and then most importantly, the noise is gone. That squeaking noise. So yeah guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I'm quite happy with the end result. I look dirty. I'm quite happy with the end result. The bakkie drives 10 times better. Just the overall feel of the van is a lot more solid. I can't explain it to you, but yeah. But I hope this video was helpful for those guys. For those guys with Colts that is considering doing their own upper and lower ball joints. as you can see, this is what is going to happen. I am completely dirty. But yeah, guys, the reason I did this is because we're preparing to go to Overberg the weekend. Myself, you know, the guys, the YouTube guys, myself, Duri, AI, hopefully they go with. I'm not sure if Lawrence will make it. But yeah, guys, thanks for tagging along with me while I was changing my suspension parts. I know this might seem like a long video, but I tried to keep it as detailed as possible. Like I said, for the guys that would like to try and do this themselves, it's not that difficult. But if you guys ever need assistance, just let me know, and I can try and help where I can. But yeah, for now, cheers.